Hey there, okay, got two more videos to go. Alright, and these that we're going to be talking about in this particular video is the inverted hammer and the hammer. Okay, now these only appear at the bottom of the trends. Now what's important to understand and note with these two particular single bar formations is they look very similar to two other single bar formations as well. And these other two single bar formations happened at the top of trends, and they're called shooting star and hanging man. Alright, and so be very careful that you don't get it mixed up in the wrong way around and what have you. Alright, there's still quite a few people out there online that still think that, you know, an inverted hammer or a hammer happened at the top of trends when they're misidentifying them. Alright, so what I'm going to do is show you basically what they would look like. Alright, now inverted hammers, and as I say, always happen, and the hammers happen at the bottom of the trends. Alright, so here's the bottom of your trend. Alright, and we're coming in a downwards fashion. Alright, the market's going crazy, or whatever it's doing. And then you'll see like perhaps like a candle, down candle like so. But then you'll see the opposite color candle come in, and it will look like that. And these are very powerful. Alright, they don't happen all the time, but they're very powerful. It's probably the most single candle formation out there that's more powerful than any other of the single candle formations. But they need to be read carefully. Okay, now this the one that we have right here is actually referred to as the hammer. Alright, now let me show you what they basically will look like. There are different ways of actually looking at the hammer. Alright, and let me just give you a couple of examples of what they will look like. Okay, you'll have some with a chopped top and some with a little wick on them as well. Okay, and basically the sentiment, what's happening here is that you can see that the downtrend is you know, coming down. Alright, and then we get this particular bar right here, and it makes a new low. Alright, but what's happened is the color of this bar is now changed. Sometimes you'll actually see a red hammer in there as well. Now if it's a red hammer, the sentiment will still favor the downtrend, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, because the sentiment, let's just give you like a red candle example. Okay, the sentiment here is basically saying, okay, well, we didn't make a new high, so the sentiment should still respect that downtrend. We made a new low, so again this is like a double confirmation that the downtrend is being respected. However, the only sort of that doesn't sort of line up with all of those areas there is this little bar, this little real body here is where it's moved up and it stops right there. Alright, it's more than the halfway point. Okay, so this is now letting you know that the bears are losing control here just a little bit. It's not been confirmed, so that's why we need to have, you know, an extra confirmation that this one closes higher than the next. But generally, for the most part, when you're at the bottom of the trends, okay, this will go straight back up. Alright, now because this is a red one, it doesn't have, you know, as much sentiment to come down you know, as you would like, but when it comes into a blue one, you will know that the sentiment is definitely changing. Okay, and then obviously the next one is going to be a blue bar or a bull bar. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you what the other one looks like. And this is, again, I'll do them in red this time, but it doesn't really matter what color I'm doing them. But the other ones is this one here. Alright, and then the other way of actually looking at it, like so. Alright, so this one right here that we're looking at is actually the inverted hammer. So that's inverted. and again they happen at the bottom of trends as well. Alright, and they can be any color, it doesn't really matter, it can be a blue one if need be. Alright, so that's how we look for those. So let's go ahead and find them on the chart. Alright, bottom of trends. Okay, now this area here, I've got like a little doji down here. Alright, this is where you can make some allowances as well. When you see like a doji happen at the bottom of trends, that's a pretty good indication that it's going to go back the other way. Obviously you would need to have some kind of confirmations in there. Alright, and let's see if we can find a really good example for a hammer. Well, this is not perfect, but it's good enough. Here you can see the downtrend, and then you see like this little bar right here, boom, and then go long on the next candle. Again, you need to sort of verify that this is an actual low. It doesn't look like it's a major support line, because there's some activity going back down here in the corner. Alright, so you'd need to take a look to see if that area is actually ringing true. We can see that over here it was supported again, so this could have been like a double bottom or double mid-range bottom, so to speak. Alright, but I still haven't found a good example to use. Yeah, oh, here we are. Alright, here we go. Here's a good example that we can use, and this one is actually the hammer. You see that, where the body, the real body, is at the top. Okay, so there you are. You're coming in from an uptrend, and there's your top there from the uptrend, and now it's starting to come back down, and then it's found like these new lows from before, and it's created that little long wick and a short body, and then eventually the market's gone back up. Alright, let's see if we can. Oh, here's another one. Okay, that's a nice example as well, and then go long after the confirmation candle. And the inverted hammer is basically the same thing again, but rather than having the body of the hammer sitting at the top, it would be at the more or less at the bottom. Okay, I can't really find any good examples. Well, here's one. It's pretty close. It's kind of mid-range, so that's another thing as well. When you see like these candles and they're basically like bang in the middle of like another one, if it makes a new lower low, that's pretty a good indication that it might still come down. If it made a new higher high, then you'd obviously need to wait for another candle to come in to confirm it. But this one is like bang in the middle, and that was still class as a well, not really, but as a hammer. It'll do the job just as fine as well anyway. I'm not really seeing many inverted. Oh, here's one right here. As soon as I say that, I'll find one. Okay, so here's one right here. It's a very small one. You really would rather to have the body, like if you to divide this into three, there's 1, 2, 3. You want really to see the body, or the body's wick, to be 2 times larger than the actual real body itself. Okay, so when you see them like that, that's a lot better. But this one looks like it's more or less 1 to 1. You know, it's basically like it's been divided in half. But you can see the bottom quadrant of that body is, you know, is down the bottom. So that acts as the inverted hammer. And here's another nice. So the longer the tail that you see them, the better. I think we've reached to the end on that one. Let's see if we can find. Here's another hammer right here, and extends its wick right down to the bottom there. That's perfect. I love you know, ones like that. And then you can go ahead and jump long on those positions. Alright, that's quite a few examples there. I'm hoping that they will be good enough for you to understand the inverted and the hammer formations. Just understand that the inverted hammer only happen at the bottom of trends, and the body is at the bottom part of the candle and not at the top, where the hammer is at the real body is at the top of the candle, and they also appear at bottom of trends as well. Alright, so with that video done, I will just quickly get over into the next video showing you the shooting star and the hanging man, and then we'll call it a day and see you very soon. Bye for now.